Knives are cool. And axes too.
Hello everybody, Robert Breaker again. Knives are cool, axes too, and swords and hatchets and just a little bit of everything, right? Well, how about cool stuff that we don't know what we have? I saw this at a garage sale and I said to myself, that looks cool. What is it? So I bought it not knowing what it was. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, it fits together and makes something. And so I've been sending this around to a lot of my friends saying, what is this thing? And I got every different answer. Some of them said it's a tie tack. Yeah, right. Try putting that on a tie. It's really, really big. So I had my thought about it. And maybe you can put in the comments what you think it is. Why don't you zoom in on it, honey? And we'll show you. And I'll tell you what I thought at first, and then we finally figured out what it really is, okay? It's pretty long. Here's my hand in comparison, so it's pretty big. Now look at the top here. See how that's, the metal is actually rounded and open here so that this part fits in like that. And so it's made to fit in, and when it's in, it looks like you could pull something with it, right? And your hand, it just fits your hand perfect, like, man, I'm gonna pull something with that. Well, I thought, hey, that would help pull my boots on. Because, you know, a lot of your Western boots have a hole on either side, and I run that through the hole and then pull your boots on. That's what I thought it was at first. But when I first looked at it, my first thought was, is that some sort of handcuff? So I was asking around and talking to people, and sure enough, I get in touch with a friend, and I said, what is it? He goes, that's easy. I got two of them. I said, what is it? He says, it's an East German wrist, what was it, wrist restraint or handcuffs. And so what they would do is and I'm just going to put one hand through, but they would put your hands behind your back, and then they would grab this, and then they would twist if they needed to hold even more. So this is some sort of wrist, but look how it only does almost one wrist. For me, I'm too big for it. It almost looks like it's made for children, because I found other ones and they're bigger for the two. But they hold you like this, and they put your hands behind you and twist it, and your hands are there behind you and restrained, and they have you, and they're holding on to this. You're not going to run away. You're not going to get away. So this looks like an East German wrist restraint, or basically an East German handcuffs. And so we're going to demonstrate this with my wife, but it doesn't, the chain looks like it's just almost too small. That's why I'm saying it. Since the chain's so small to go around two wrists, did they make them for children? Were they that sadistic, those communists, that they're like, well, let's make the adult version and then the children version? I mean, to me, that's kind of creepy, because that's not a lot of room right there for two wrists. So I don't think it's just for one wrist to hold somebody. It's supposed to be for two, to go around both hands, the wrist, and then lock in place, and then that person, you control them. As long as you're holding them, they can't go anywhere. So let's go ahead and let's do a demonstration. And by the way, there is absolutely no marks on this of who made it or anything. If you know anything about the East Germans, well, that would have been who? That would have been your communist, right? And that's kind of scary. If I remember right, there's East Germany and West Germany. And I think the East would have been the communist. And so that was their restraints. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to use my wife to show you how to do it. Well, first of all, I'll put it around her one wrist like this. But she's got a little bit of room there, so that other wrist might fit, but it doesn't fit all the way. So, but just imagine how that can grab somebody. And it would hurt the more you twist it. And you got them by one at least. So you got her, and she can't go anywhere with at least one wrist. But like I said, they were supposed to be for both wrists, and they're supposed to go behind a person's back. So let's look at that here. So see, I've got both of her hands there behind her back, but this doesn't quite go together. So I can hold her. I mean, at least it's enough together to where I can hold her and tell her where to go, and by pushing and pulling, but it doesn't lock like it should. So is this one for a child? And because both of their wrists would fit, or is this one for just a one-hander? All right, let's try your one hand. Give me one hand. And if I put this around and grab both, here we go, it will lock into place like that. Then I do the twist in order to get her, and now she's not getting away. So maybe that's the idea. Maybe it's just a one-hander, or maybe, like I said, could they have been that sadistic and evil that this is actually made for children? I do not know. All I know is it's an interesting item, very interesting, and the way that it's made in order to lock into place like that. Now one side kind of hangs over. Sorry, my Band-Aid's in there. But it holds like this. And if you have that in your hands and you're holding someone, they are not going to get away at all. So there's your East German wrist restraints. Have you ever seen those before? Do you have some? Are yours longer? I don't have a ruler. Do we have a ruler in here or a tape measure to show how long that is? But let's say 6. Maybe it's about a foot long. But you'd think it'd be longer of a chain in order for an adult. So I don't know, but I did find that amazing. And guess how much I paid for that at a garage sale? $1. So what is it worth? Well, that's the question. My wife actually looked it up online and tried to find some. And did you see, where did you see it selling? On eBay or something? For how much?
Oh, between 30 and 70.
So somewhere between $30 and $70 was one of these on eBay. To me, it's a piece of history that I want to forget. The Berlin Wall fell, thank God, and with it, I guess these things were forgotten. And I sure hope they don't come back in style, you know what I mean? But it is an interesting design. Rather than expensive handcuffs, it's just a cheap little way to restrain someone. And I just find that interesting. So thanks for watching. I always enjoy interesting, cool things, and I always like to buy things at garage sales if it's cheap enough, just to figure out what it is. And like I said, I thought that was just put that together and you put it through your boot, you pull your boot on or something. But now we know, and now it's like, man, maybe we should just get rid of this thing because it's kind of creepy. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to share it with you. And if I get new things, I'll share it with you as well. Leave in the comments what you think, what you know about it. Who would have made this? Where would it have come from? Was this a Gestapo? Was this KGB? Who made these? And are they usually longer? Or is it just for one wrist, for holding people and carrying them into the gulag or something like that? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Knives are cool. And axes too.
Bullseye.